Let's call this meeting to order.
Don't have to laugh.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have a roll call, please.
Village President Detloff,
Here.
Mr. Brower.
Here.
Mr. Marks,
Here.
Mr. Morgan. Present. Ms. Quinn,
Here.
Ms. Worrell,
Here.
and Ms. Weedle is absent.
Do we have a motion to approve village board meeting minutes dated 8/4/2025?
Make a motion. I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve previous meeting minutes from August 4th. Motion is made by Mr. Marks,
Yes.
seconded by Mr. Brower.
Yes.
Mr. Morgan.
Yes.
Ms. Quinn,
Yes.
Ms. Worrell.
Yes.
Do we have any public comment? No one?
No.
There's two names on here, but is Mr. Billy Gladkowski or Dylan Perry here this evening? We have a motion to approve bills for payment and payroll.
Yes. I move to approve bills for payment dated August 14th, 2025 from the corporate general fund in the amount of $26,579.78. Also dated August 14th from the Fest Fund, $200. Also dated August 14th from the TIF account, $12,070. Also move to approve payroll ending August 2, 2025 in the amount of $20,096.03. Also ending August 13th, a stipend of $3,551.35.
I'll second.
Does anybody have any questions about accounts payable? Okay, I think we're good.
Okay. Excuse me. Motion to approve bills for payment dated August 14th out of general fund, $26,579.78. Out of the Fest Fund, $200 even. Out of the TIP account, $12,070 and no cents. Payroll ending August 2nd in the amount of $20,096.03. And August 13th stipend of $3,551.35. Motion is made by Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
seconded by Ms. Worrell,
Yes.
Mr. Brower,
Yes.
Mr. Marks,
Yes.
and Ms. Quinn.
Yes.
Good. Department reports. Clerk Scott Dillman.
I don't have anything from the clerk department, but I was asked on behalf of the Historical Society of Grant Park. We had the unfortunate passing of one member here recently, and they have another vacancy on their board, and they are seeking two citizens from the village of Grant Park for replacements on their board. It's my understanding if anyone is interested, contact Village Hall first or whatever, and we'll put them in contact with the proper people if they would like. They meet once a month. And it's community service. So anybody interested, please stop in, and that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Attorney's report, Mr. Mike Sanchi. I don't have anything this evening from him. Engineers report, Neil Piggish. I would like to let the board know that the restoration work on Essen Farm has been completed, the drainage work. I took a walk over there after all that rain we had the other day, and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So very happy about that. Right now, I don't have any report on when the downtown beautification is going to start, but we do have contracts here, which we'll talk later in this meeting concerning Hilbert Park. So that's everything from the engineer's report. Ordinances and Insurance Committee Chairperson Susie Weedle isn't here tonight. Mr. Morgan is going to fill in and do her reports.
Yes, the first thing that we're going to take care of is the first reading of ordinance O-8-25-1. An ordinance implementing a municipal grocery retailer's occupation tax, municipal grocery service occupation tax in the village of Grant Park. And again, this is not a new tax. This is just extending the one that is in place. We need a second for the first reading, or just the first reading?
No, not unless you're gonna go to,
Does anybody have any questions about that at the first reading? Otherwise, we'll do the second reading at the next meeting on the second. We kind of talked about it.
Right, I think it's still ready to do.
Okay. All right, moving on, the next thing is a resolution. Resolution number R-8-25-2. A resolution authorizing revisions to the professional fee agreement incorporated into village ordinance number O-7-24-1. And again, we've talked about this previously. The main thing is, of course, section 2 of security, the estimated cost of the project and the initial deposit. And somebody that wants to change zoning or have change in, say, the layout of a lot or something. This we do need a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion about this? I know we've talked about this at great length at the last meeting, but anybody has any other question? Okay, I think we're good.
They did that really quick.
Yes, the turnaround was good.
okay, motion to, approve resolution number R-8-25-2, which is approving revisions to the professional fee agreement. Motion is made by Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
seconded by Ms. Worrell,
Yes.
Mr. Brower.
Yes.
Mr. Marks.
Yes.
And Ms. Quinn.
Yes.
Okay, the other thing under ordinances and insurance is the B, and we're gonna have that when Ben does his discussion at the end of the meeting. I'll say it.
Streets and Alley Committee Chairperson, Morgan Worrell.
Yes, we have a couple of things. I have no update on this, seal coating estimate for the park yet, but as soon as I do, I will get right back to you. The crosswalks have been painted, trees are trimmed for some safe travels back to school, which started today. There's a light out at Clark and Hamilton, and the electrician will be out to fix it as soon as his schedule allows, and I will keep you guys updated on that at the next meeting as well. And that is all I have for tonight.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Finance Committee Chairman, Gary Morgan.
Yes, we've talked previously about the furniture in the Pepin property. And because there is limited security, although we do have a host of things there to keep people from stealing things, mostly a poisonous atmosphere and poisonous plants, and now and then a serious animal or something, but yet there are approximately 12 pieces of furniture and 2 filing cabinets that would be in our best interest to move out as soon as possible. So we're going to have those moved out, and what we need to discuss is now what do we do with them? I mean, we're going to unfortunately store them down at the maintenance building as long as they're sort of clean when they go in, because they said they don't want anything that's reeking mold and whatever. One of these pieces of furniture kind of reeks mold and has all kinds of hair and fuzzy things on it. So we'll have to do something with it before we put it at the maintenance building, but the others are sort of okay. But what should we do with them? And we talked about possibly donating them to the Historical Society, and maybe we have them down there. We invite the Historical Society to come down and look at them to see if they want one. And then we decide we're going to sell them. I mean, Scott suggested we get an auctioneer to sell them off at some point, or maybe we get somebody who specializes in antiques to give us some kind of quote on what they might be worth. So there's a bunch of things to do. Anyway, what we are going to do is get them out of there, because basically the only security we've got is it's a nasty place to go.
Why do they have to be removed?
Because we're gonna sell the property and we don't want prospective buyers thinking that that's part of the things they get.
So it's like things that could be valuable, it's not just
Could
like
be
a
very,
table.
could be, it's probably a 19th century table and chairs.
Okay.
A couple of the other pieces are from the 19th or early 20th century. So there is some value to them because they're some of the pieces are in really good shape, don't have mold on them.
Okay. I just don't want stuff to get stuck down there and like fill up their area even more.
Well, there's that problem.
Right.
But I think temporarily, we've got to get them out of there.
Then who moves them out of there?
We're gonna hire a mover,
Okay.
a local person who's moved other things in the village. I mean, we can't ask them, I think that'd be a mistake. I don't think Steve and JD ought to be the ones moving those things.
No.
Do we have an estimate when the house will actually be on the market?
The market, yes, it should go on the market tomorrow. It's ready for the MLS and there's been some previous or preview kinds of things that I think we might see on Facebook. I haven't looked at them, but that's what Kara was going to do. She and Carrie Zizik went in the other day to take pictures and measurements. And there are pathways to the buildings that are only a little dangerous because of the poison ivy and the raspberry bushes that want to reach out and grab you. And there are all kinds of trees that have fallen down. So it is a dangerous place to go. People who are going to come in to view it are going to sign a waiver saying if they get hurt there, it's not our fault. So that's one of the other things that the attorneys and the realtor and we put in place because we don't want people going in there and they get in there and they fall down the stairs or something. It's going to be their problem, not ours.
The, used to have a fence across the driveway.
Yes,
I believe the sign said no trespassing.
there's no sign there. That's the next thing. We need to put a sign up that either says stop or no trespassing unless you have an appointment. And that really means realtor and somebody that's interested in buying. One of the things that they're gonna put in place, the realtors are gonna find out if people are serious, do they actually have some money to invest in something like that? They're not gonna let just anybody go and take a look.
So the realtor will do the qualifications, pre-qualifying them.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. And we've upped the earnest money to $2,000. It was originally 1,000. So that was something that the realtor also suggested. And we need to put some more language in the contract that we have a kind of a guideline for the contract that we'll share with prospective buyers. But we need to put in a phrase that says, if you buy this, you've got 3 years to make it presentable. I mean, that means hauling those trees out, cutting down the giant weeds and stuff like that. And unfortunately, one of their beautiful light posts was hit by a tree and has been busted in half. So I think, did you guys have to move that out of the driveway?
There's so much stuff over that driveway, I can tell you. I know, there was one on the side,
Okay,
left as you're driving up.
Yeah.
It was still good, and I think there was two, maybe one on the right that was knocked over, but yeah, the skid steer just made a path that we could
Yeah.
walk without getting bamboozled with
Yeah.
everything. But, yeah, there's several lights back there, but yeah, I couldn't tell you exactly how. they
yeah,
were.
I'm pretty sure it's one that was broken in half by the tree falling on it. And approximately half the buildings have trees that have fallen on the roofs.
Right.
And the people who are viewing the property with a realtor can go to those buildings and see them. A couple of them, they can go inside and see the things that are there. There's a nice television set in its original wrappings even. But it's one of the old cathode ray tube TVs, so nobody's gonna want that. I mean, you don't want an antique TV that's probably black and white, even if it's new.
See, one of the stipulations that we put in place is we didn't want someone to purchase the property and sit on it. Because we're just changing ownership. We want the property dressed up so it looks attractive when you come into town. And then maybe the potential buyer would have an idea what they're gonna do, either something with the house or whatever their purpose is gonna be once they make the purchase of the property.
And one other note, I mean, the assessor spent a lot of time valuing the property. And if one of us go in there, we see all the problems, but it's still worth $150,000. I mean, even with the trees on the outbuildings and the condition of the main house, still has value. And again, we'd like to get those antiques out just because we don't want something happening to them in there. It's a little too easy to get in there.
So at this time, what would the village board decide on the belongings in the house? Because if we don't know how long it's gonna be on the market, it could be for a while or it could be
Could be
short
short term
term.
for a year, could be
Yeah.
on a week.
So we'll have to make a decision if we have an idea on where we're gonna head with this.
And again, we're not actually voting, we're just like talking about it.
I think we ought to move those items out as soon as possible.
Okay. Okay, we'll try and make
And
it
the
as
Historical
nice as
Society
possible.
has first option on those items too, correct?
Yeah, except for the file cabinets, we're keeping the file cabinets, they're like brand new. I
Okay.
mean, they're probably 10 or 15 years old, but they look really good. In fact, better than some of the file cabinets some of us are using.
I'm a teacher, I know what they look.
So are you in agreement that we go ahead and proceed to get the belongings out as quickly as possible?
As long as it's not to their labor and we're hiring.
Right, yeah,
Right.
I think it's something that would be beyond us to ask them to do.
For
It'd
sure.
just be wrong, so, yeah.
You know, we're actually hiring someone to take these things out and then storing them temporarily. But once this goes on the market, it may sell quickly because it's on just over 4 acres. Is that correct?
A little over 4 acres, it's like 4.1 or 2 acres, in a
So,
prime location.
yeah, somebody
150,000.
somebody might be interested in the property, not so much the house. But we don't want to have to scramble at the last minute to get belongings out, so we
Right,
can
makes
take them
sense.
out, store them, and then whatever happens. So if you're in agreement, we'll proceed that way.
Yes,
that's a good idea.
And I think we do ask the Historical Society to look at them. They may not actually get them, but if they say this is a piece we'd like, we at least have that information. And you know, they at least get an opportunity to say, yeah,
Do they have
Okay.
plenty of storage area down there?
they don't have enough storage area. We're
I
gonna
was
get to do
thinking,
some.
is there possibly a bay available at the rental thing over there? We could rent a bay for 6 months or whatever we need to do as a possibility to
That's a
store in there.
possibility too. I can call them and say that's usually $100 a month at least. Huh?
That's about right. Well, once the property gets cleared, I'm not associated with the Historical Society, but I am gonna help them by talking to the new owners. Be able to take some pictures of the property, and then we're gonna see if we can maybe find some artifacts that are buried on the property to display at the Historical Society. If the new owner of the property agrees, right now, there'd be no way because of the overgrowth. But we're gonna keep that in mind and I will bring it to the board's attention.
Since you mentioned that, theoretically, there is a gargoyle of some kind out on the property, like in the front somewhere. But again, lost in the jungle. Okay, I'm done.
That's okay. No, if we could save any of this for display, because I'm not sure what's gonna happen to the property once it's sold. But at least we can have photographs and say this is what stood here, or maybe that someone will come in and revitalize the house. So we'll have to see. That's all, Mr. Moore?
Yes, that's all.
Okay, thank you. Community Outreach Chairman, Mr. Steve Brower.
We had our last festival meeting, we approved and we need board's approval here to make a festival donation of $2,000 to the new Village Hall mural that will be put up. And we're just seeking our approval from the board to continue with that. So we need a motion for that? Or just
Yeah, you need a.
Yeah, you need to just make a motion to.
make a motion that the $2,000 expenditure for the festival committee donation to the Village Hall mural be made.
And that donation will come out of the Festa account.
Comes out of the festival account, not out of the village account.
How much was the mural for the?
5,500, is that correct? Yeah, somewhere in that
There's
neighborhood.
Still a little bit, might go up, might go down a little bit, but that's kind of like. And I guess, God, you saw kind of a preliminary.
Yeah. A first draft anyway,
The
kind of
first
thing, yeah.
has an old steam engine coming in on one side, and there's a picture of obviously Ulysses Grant. And a couple other things, I think there was,
Grain elevator, big ear of corn on one end.
there's a dragon. I can't remember, there's some other things that are connected with Grant, oh yeah.
Train,
The,
something with the train.
the two guys holding the Grant sign that are on the sign across the street over here. There's one of those, there's a kind of a drawing of that in the middle too.
Okay, that's cool.
Anyway, she'll show you before it's final,
Oh, no, yeah, I just.
but it's moving along.
I'll second that. Okay. That's committee.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the festival account donation of $2,000 to the Village Hall mural. Motion made by Mr. Brower
Yes,
and seconded by Mr. Marks.
Yes.
Mr. Morgan.
Yes,
Ms. Quinn
Yes,
and Ms. Whirl.
yes. Very generous.
thank you. And this is the second thing I'd like to pass out is, you can pass those down, it's the schedule of events that's we put together for the Fall into Fall Festival. And we are doing a Friday night thing where at 6:30, we're gonna do a bike parade. Starting at the community center, ending at the community center, and then after will be a movie. And fresh popcorn will be made at the movie, so people are wanted to bring chairs or blankets to watch the movie. That is being sponsored by Christine Wick. It's a great idea she came up with. And everything else on the schedule has already been spoken for and on schedule to proceed.
I have a question. If someone wants to volunteer, can they just show up the day of the event and reach out to somebody and say, I'm here to help, or,
Absolutely.
okay,
If anybody walks in the door, we'll take them.
good.
We're probably about 4 or 5 people short of having a full volunteer list right now.
Mhm.
And I know as trustees, we can fill it anywhere it's needed, but we still want to fill some things. So people aren't sitting in the bar for, serving drinks for 8 hours. We want to have them session down. So any more people that come in, we'll be glad to have them. And as far as the community service by, we had 4 kids that were sentenced to, community service. Evidently, there's only 2 that are on the books right now because 2 can't make it. And then the third one is asked that they don't not do volunteer work at the community center. They want to do volunteer work at the veterinarian or their rescue place. So defer that to Chief Fry to decide if that's a possibility or not. So right now, it looks like we may have one kid to help out. Which is great.
If I may add, these volunteers that we're seeking, they can be there for an hour, 2 hours, all day if they want, any amount of time they can
Oh,
offer,
absolutely.
will
Volunteers
appreciate.
can come for 10 minutes if we.
Yeah, they don't have to be there all day,
Yes.
so.
And we did have, some T-shirts, there's gonna say Grant Park Festival, on the back it'll say volunteer. Those were donated by, anonymous donor, so the committee people will have those, but we won't have them all out for all volunteers. It'll just be going to the committee people. So, that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Building and Grounds Committee Chairperson Julie Quinn.
Okay, in your packet, you will find the rental agreement that was created by our village attorney. And then we tweaked it a little bit in our committee meeting so that the lessee information, which is the second bullet down, the person that's going to rent the community center, can just provide proof of residency in Grant Park to receive the residency and Grant Park rates. I'm not sure why they're not in here as well, but page 1 is missing. I don't know what page 1 is. So, that's the page with all the fees and stuff on it, that Carrie created. And then this is the one that is the legal. So, hopefully, I'd like to make our motion that we go ahead and, approve this particular draft. So that we have all of our insurance, all our waivers, grant insurance is here. And then, of course, please don't stake anything into the ground, which is the third thing down, which I thought was just as important as residency. So I moved that up. It was a little further down. So I moved that up, and then video surveillance property damage, and then the standard, legal wording below about the insurance.
Is there a page 1 that I missed?
Yes, the page 1, I don't know why Carrie didn't include it. The page 1 has the costs, the rental fees. I asked her to include it, but it is not. Oh, it's on yours. Okay, well.
It's not the new one that's the old.
Well, the page 1 is the original.
Yeah, the prices are all the same.
Yeah, the page 1 wasn't included because it's an original agreement. Yeah, it hasn't changed. The only thing that changed was the wording that you had the attorneys.
Yeah, and move up.
Right,
Yeah.
So basically, the original agreement is you can get one in the front of the office. It's basically the same. And on the bottom of that agreement, it also says, who's the exemption, who gets the building for free, which is the county when they do the voting, American Legion, VFW, Grand Park Foundation. I'm sure I'm missing somebody.
Elevator.
The co-op, is that all that's out there, Dennis?
Young at heart.
Young at heart, yes. But I think that covers it, and the fees are on there, and there's a notation. No, there's a notation on the bottom too about cleanup if we have to charge extra sometimes. The renter comes in and doesn't do the best job of keeping the building clean. So if necessary, and we have to bring someone in to clean it, they'll be charging more and not giving their deposit back. So basically that covers it. Ms. Quinn, is that all you had?
It is.
Very much.
And you made a motion, right?
Yeah,
I don't have a second.
I did.
I don't have a second yet.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the new park rental agreement. Motion is made by Ms. Quinn,
Yes.
seconded by Ms. Whirl.
Yes.
Mr. Brower?
Yes.
Mr. Marks?
Yes.
And Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
Law Enforcement Committee Chairman Dennis Marks.
I have nothing tonight.
Well, I have something that I got this evening. I will give you a copy of this afterwards. I won't go in too much detail. You can give this to the chief of police when you see him.
Okay.
This came from a resident. It was addressed to me, and it's basically, they were pointing out some village codes that need to be addressed here in the village. So I'm gonna give you the original copy, and you can address this with, the chief when he's in. I don't know if he's in tomorrow or not, but when you see him, you can make arrangements. I'm bringing this up simply because whoever sent us, which was anonymous, there's no signature on it, just addressed to me about, there are some addresses on here of concerns that they have in the community that they want addressed by the police. So I am passing this along to the police. They sent it to me, but basically it's for the police to address. So at this time, I'm going to give it to you. We have a copy at the front desk for Carrie to keep on file. If anybody has any questions concerning this, I will address it after the meeting. I don't think there's anything on here that we need to address during a regular board meeting. Mr. Martz, do you have anything?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. I have a few things here to discuss this evening. Just a reminder to the community, today's back to school day. So be mindful, there's kids that are, couldn't wait to get home and get on their bikes and get on the streets. So they're gonna see a little bit more traffic. There was quite a few kids this morning, going to school for the first day. So, keep in mind that the school's back in session, so there'll be a few more kids on the streets. We have a new school principal, Stacy Glenn. I met her last week. She is the middle school and high school principal, very nice lady. I welcomed her to the community. Also, across the street at our library, we have a new librarian, Renee Martinez. I stopped in and welcomed her to our village. She's pretty excited about the job. So if you happen to see our new principal or the new librarian, say hello. If you happen to be by the high school, the seniors have been painting their parking spots and they've done a great job on them. And I go by in the morning on the walk and look at who did the newest ones, and there's some very talented young people in our community. So if they're parking their car, say you did a nice job, I like what you did, your artwork looks really good. Another thing I want to bring up here is after our contacts, if you need to get a hold of anybody from the village, get a hold of me and I will make sure the appropriate people are in contact, whether it be an emergency, whether it be just to discuss something. The people in the village have needs and they come up, and I'm always available to listen to those needs. But our department heads, have a life and they go home at 3:30 and they were back at 7 in the morning. So your concerns, you can come to me with them. I will make sure they get taken care of, or Miss World will take care of them because she is Streets and Alley chairperson. And she will make sure that the maintenance department is informed. Another thing that I have here is in the last couple of weeks, we've had some issues with code enforcement. And we've been trying to address these things and we've got a good handle. And I want to thank our building inspector, Chris Carson. He made a big difference on taking care of these things. We had Lot 2 in Lake Matonga. There was work going on for a couple of weeks there with no permit. And it was a lot of work, and it was a roof, siding, brickwork, interior work. I found out after about a week and a half and stopped there on Saturday morning and says, "Where's your permit?" He said, "We have none." I said, "Well, you're not working." So I went and got the police and the police helped me out and they stopped work. The gentleman did get a permit. He had to pay fines. He was fined through the building inspector $2,000 for work with no permits. And he was also fined by the police department for every individual code violations. So they're going to have adjudication court tomorrow. They might be here to pay their fines, but if not, I'm just reporting to you that this is lost revenue for the village. It could be something very simple. This wasn't a simple operation. You can't put a roof and siding and brickwork and all this work into a house and not have a building permit. So this applies to all of us. And the code enforcement worked because Mr. Carson went there. He's a farmer, a rancher, our building inspector. He dropped everything, went out there, took care of things and said, "Work won't proceed. I won't sign a permit until this is taken care of." So I have to applaud his help in the police department, because without those two, I really don't have the authority to stop that work. I can just report. But when we let that go, it's lost revenue to the village and we can't let that happen. When we talk about code enforcements, we have 9 titles, 90 subcategories, plus 17 special ordinances. So it's a lot of work. And do I know all this? And I'm like, no, I don't even know a fraction. I go online. We pay a company to publish this online so we can find these things. If you ever are not quite sure, do I need a permit? Call the village hall. It won't cost you anything. The village hall says, yeah, no permit necessary, or you need one. We have rules and we have to follow those rules. So, and like I said, we do pay a company to publish this for us. So go online, you can look them up for yourself. I do it all the time. When someone asks me, I say, "Gee, I'm not sure," but you can look up and find this stuff. I have a thank you card here from, it says, "Thank you for being our sponsor. We couldn't do it without you. Kankakee County Fair 2025 Horse Farm." So this came in the mail today and I opened it up and it was really nice. I'll just pass it around so everybody can see that and what it says. And then everyone is aware that we're going to be doing here this year, Hildred Park, a ADA compliant park. Hildred Park is located on the south end of town, back by Aqua's facility. So today I received documentation, which after the meeting tonight, I'm going to sign this. One is a notice to proceed with work, and the other is a contract for performance bond and performance payment. So on behalf of the village, I will be signing these, turning this documentation in to our engineering company so the work on this park can start. Does anybody have any questions for me this evening?
Zoning or the BDUs.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get to the beats. Now, sir.
Yeah, I'm Ben Anderson. I'm new to the community. And you didn't speak on zoning at all. I'm just gonna wait for that. Is that just because you didn't have anything? or,
No, I've got two other things, the
okay,
village clerk just told me. We had, one of the things brought up by a citizen wanted to know if they could raise bees in a residential setting.
okay.
We do not have an ordinance concerning that. The only thing that I can find is, the raising of bees in a residential setting is, regulated by the Department of Agriculture in the state of Illinois. They examine your property has to be so big, so many square feet to go ahead and, raise bees. It has to be off the property line, you have to check with your neighbors, so neighbors, or you might have someone who's allergic to a bee sting. You're regulated on what kind of bees and where you bring them in from, so it's quite, it's not like you live in an area zone A1 where you just put up a hive or two in your backyard setting and you don't have any neighbors for quite a distance. In a residential setting, it's completely different. So I guess at this time, I'm gonna ask the board your thoughts. We're not gonna vote on this. I told the resident that I would get back once we address this at a meeting. So I will start with you, Mr. Brower. What do you think about?
If it's covered by the ag department, is this person, is he qualified depending on the rules and regulations that ag did?
Well, there's not rules and regulations concerning raising bees in a residential setting. Their regulation is in a rural setting or an A1 agricultural setting. And that's where their rules come into play. So we don't really have anything. And before we take this any further, I have to get the idea of what the board feels on this, because without an ordinance, we'd have to get an ordinance introduced. We'd have to get this up, and I've only had one person bring this to my attention, so. I mean, what is your thoughts? Are you for it or against it?
Well, I look at it and I say, I see a beehive that could be this tall, or it could be that tall, or that tall. I don't know how many bees are in a hive, but even so, it would make me nervous to have bees in my next door house. Because they're coming and going, and I know we need bees in the world, they're declining on us, but having that in a residential setting, I think I would go for.
Okay, Mr. Marks.
Well, I agree with with him, but if it was like across the street from me on Griffin Street and somebody put in the back property, they're gonna be in a cornfield most of the time, you know what I mean? But in town, with streets, that's no good, cause kids will get stung and with it shouldn't be in confined area like that, there's no good. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I don't have a whole lot of information since we don't have a guideline to go with. Everything I got was off the state website, so.
So I don't think they should have them in town for that reason.
Okay, Mr. Dillon, what is your thoughts on this?
I think it's a problem waiting to happen
Okay,
in a residential setting. You know, because they fly all over.
The honeybees that he's probably going to want to raise are not indigenous to our country. So I'm thinking that that's not a good idea to put bees that don't even live here, so to speak, in town. I think agriculturally, I like bees. I think it's good if you've got a farm and lots of acreage for them to be in. So I guess in town, I just don't think it's a good idea.
Ms. Worrell.
Absolutely not. We moved in, our new home is like a bee paradise. There'd be houses, there'd be flowers, and it's been nothing but a problem with pets and kids, so we're ripping it out either way, but it's definitely a no for me.
Okay, Ms. Quinn.
If these are non-indigenous creatures that we're referring to.
Honeybees are not.
Right.
Now, the bees that she's dealing with probably are.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's
There's
a plethora of wildlife going on at Morgan's house right now, but, I'm a bee person, so I would never say no to, a bee hive or an apiary or anything like that. But if, majority rules, but I would still say I like bees. And
I
yeah,
like bees.
I like bees.
All of them, yeah.
Yeah, but, we're doing something that's not, native to the area. I think it's a mistake.
Well, I'll let the resident know at this time, our decision would be, that we are not gonna be in agreement to have bees raised in a residential setting. Now, they could come up and, address the board but for informal setting, what we're having now, and have something to go with. Like I said, all the information I got was more for a agricultural setting, not for a residential setting.
Right.
But there are a lot of regulations, even if you lived on a farm, out in the open, you still have to follow, the rules. The next thing I have is, zoning. We've gone through some zoning issues here, and this is concerning the property on Butler. Now, the property on Butler is zoned, for single-family residence. And the gentleman who owns that property, for the best information that I have, is gonna not try to change it to multifamily. He's gonna leave it zoned as single-family resident. He talked to me one day here concerning that. I said the best information that I could give him would be to reach out to our attorney. And the attorney has been working on his behalf to try to change this. At our last village board meeting, it wasn't agreed by the village board to change that to multifamily. He wanted to do townhomes on that piece of property on Butler. So he, as the homeowner or the property owner, can still do single-family homes there, because that's how it is zoned.
Okay.
But it cannot be made into townhomes or multifamily. So, any questions from anybody?
Any questions?
Nope, that answers the question.
Okay. I have Surf Internet. I reached out to them last week and I've been emailing them. Hey, when are you gonna get going here? So I went to Moments and talked to their people in their community and said, hey, you got Surf Internet, right? And we're like, yeah. Do you have service yet? No. And I said, well, we're waiting. He said, well, we're waiting too. And unfortunately, I'm gonna keep trying. I'm just bringing it up to the board so you know where we're at with this. My emails aren't even getting answered now. So I have the contact person who's been taking care of this. Now, maybe they're busy, and I understand that. All I want an answer is tell me October 1st, end of this month, sometime. But when you don't tell me, I have nothing to report to you. So I'm gonna keep trying. I'll keep sending the emails because I don't have a phone number. We email directly to the company. The phone number is like if you want to sign up or that type of thing, which wouldn't give me any information. And I need to talk to the people in charge because I'm not trying to sign up and I need to say, hey, this is the person in the community that's supposed to have the information and I have no information. So that's where we're at with Surf right now. And then the last thing I have is I want to reach out to Mr. Brower. He's put a lot of work into the Fall Fest. I hope comes out and supports them. For the past 6 months, they've been doing meetings and trying to get all this together, and they're still looking for volunteers. So hopefully the weather's good, and then all the work that you put in, it feels like it was worthwhile. You sit there and you get all nerve wracked and how's this gonna work out? And then all of a sudden it's getting here pretty close. I can't believe we're at the end of August already, but the Fall Fest will be here within a few weeks, 6th and 7th, correct?
It's 6 and 7.
So we're having the Wicks bike ride to kick off, and then the events will start the 6th and the 7th. So if you have an hour all day, half the day, if you're good on picking up trash, here's my trash partner right here. We'll hand out the garbage bags. We'll show you how we do it. So please come and help. Does anybody have any questions this evening? At this time, I asked the board, is there a need to go in executive session? Do we have thank you, Dennis. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
All in favor?
Yeah. we're all-
Thank you.
Hey, Steve, Alex,